Now, viewers, shocking revelations in the Goa fire tragedy have come to the fore. Despite 4 separate complaints of illegal construction, sewage discharge, noise pollution and safety risks, the Goa State Pollution Control Board in April 2024 granted a 15-year green category consent to Birch By Romeo Lane nightclub, allowing operations till 2039. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant admitted this in the Assembly. The complaints filed between 2023 and November 2025 warned of violations in eco-sensitive salt pans, untreated sewage flowing into the Baga River and dangerously unstable structure. Yet, no action was taken, and we have the documents to show you. Just a week ago, this was back in December, a devastating fire at the nightclub claimed 25 lives. In December 2025, CNN News 18 had reported these lapses earlier as well. Now vindicated as the Chief Minister himself has confirmed the state's failure, the question remains, was the tragedy a state-sponsored death trap? Who will hold the state accountable? These are some of the major questions that we're asking today, viewers. There have been shocking lapses which have come to the fore as well. You can see some of the documents on your screens right now. I'm going to take you through all of the complaints that we have accessed as well and the certification that was issued to Birch By Romeo Lane. You have to understand that there were many clearances which Birch By Romeo Lane did not have. There were multiple complaints which were raised as well, post which we've accessed this particular report. This is one by Goa State Pollution Control Board. Important to see the date here. If we could just zoom in on that, the date here, 2024 is what we're looking at. Let's just go through. Consent to operate under Section 2526 of the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 and under Section 21 of the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 and authorization under Rule 6 of the Hazardous and Other Waste Management and Transboundary Movement 2016 as amended, to be referred to as the Water Act, Air Act and the HWM&T rules respectively. Once again, please focus on the date here, 22nd of April 2024. And this is the important part, point 1 and 2 that we're looking at here, viewers. This consent to operate and authorization is valid up to 2039, 31st of January 2039. So there was a clearance given up till 2039. This consent to operate and authorization is valid for the operation of a restaurant, capacity 150% seating. So that's the capacity. Also important to note here, conditions have been put in place as well, required to be complied under the Water Act. Let's go through these. Some of the major elements here, the daily quantity of effluent from the restaurant, sewage and sullage shall not exceed 8.4 kiloliters a day. This is what this stands for, 8.4 kiloliters a day. Domestic effluent treatment and disposal, the domestic wastewater shall be treated in a properly designed septic tank. Now, this is the authorization letter that we're seeing here by the Goa State Pollution Control Board, issued on the 22nd of April 2024. Authorization is valid up to 31st of January 2039. If we were to just quickly go through the complaints as well, viewers, here we have a list of 4 complaints, as you can see here. This is from 2023, 2025, 3 from 2025, 1 from 2023. If I could quickly just take you through this, nature of the violation back in 2023, illegal construction in eco-sensitive zones, salt pans, agricultural field, discharge of sewage into the Baga River, operation in an unstable structure which could cause a major tragedy. The present status of this, site inspection was conducted in 2025. Action taken, inspection was forwarded to the complainant with a letter. This is the status here. Then we have 3 more complaints from 2025. Unlawful construction in violation in properties, bearing serial number. This is the serial number then. Unlawful noise pollution, unauthorized construction, coastal regulation zone violations and illegal commercial operations without occupancy certificate. So these are some of the complaints that we're looking at. And once again, let me show you. This is the authorization letter by the Goa State Pollution Control Board issued on the 22nd of April 2024. Authorization up till 2039. So this is what we're looking at here. What we are trying to ask here is, who will hold the state accountable? Was this a state-sponsored death trap? We've brought you all of these lapses in our findings earlier as well. For more on this, we have Aman Sharma live with us. Aman, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, as I just showed our viewers, the authorization letter issued in 2024 up till 2039. There were 4 complaints, 1 in 2023 and 3 in 2025. And this is the disaster that was a result of the state looking the other way.
Well, certainly, Hem, the documents that we are bringing forth to our viewers is in fact a reply given in the State Assembly of Goa by no less than the Chief Minister of Goa, Mr. Pramod Sawant, and it clearly shows that this particular nightclub was screaming violations. It was screaming red alarms for almost 2 years, from 2023 till 2025. There were a series of complaints made on various counts against this resort, but still, the Goa State Pollution Board gave it a green license to operate for 15 long years. And these permissions are given also for 5 years, 10 years, depending on which kind of clearance it is, a red clearance, orange clearance. But this particular resort straight away got the green clearance. And that is what we are exposing. And the Goa government is now in fact admitting, even before the State Assembly, that yes, there were complaints. And yes, this resort still got a clearance to operate for 15 years. I have these documents here with me. And this is the reply of the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant made in the State Assembly to Mr. Vijay Sardesai, the MLA, who has been pursuing this issue very relentlessly for many days now. And this document makes it very clear that the Goa State Pollution Control Board gave the clearance to this particular resort to operate a restaurant of 150% capacity on 22 April 2024, and this consent was given. This was despite a complaint being there in 2023 against this resort and 3 more complaints coming after this resort gave clearance, but no action was taken. And despite these 4 complaints alleging there was illegal construction, one complaint said, another complaint of sewage discharge into the Baga River, then there was a complaint of noise pollution, there was a complaint of safety risk against this particular resort, but still a 15-year green category consent was given to Birch By Romeo Lane till 2039. And that was the kind of long rope that was given. CM Pramod Sawant is explaining this. I'll show you another document, in fact, which shows the copy of this clearance which was given. This is the copy of that clearance which was given to the restaurant for 150 people capacity. This is 22nd April 2024. This particular order of the Goa State Pollution Control Board gave the clearance. But the most damning document is the next one. The next one about the complaints. And these are the complaints that everybody should carefully look. In fact, the viewers, the first complaint on 18 December 2023, alleging illegal construction in the eco-sensitive zone is a salt pan area, agricultural field. There is discharge of sewage into the Baga River. There's an operation of a discotheque in an unstable structure which could cause a major tragedy. This complaint said there was misutilization of open spaces and contravention to the building bylaws. This is before the green clearance was given, and still the green clearance comes despite such big complaints. All that the authorities did was conduct a site inspection on 20th March 2025, nearly 2 years after this complaint and after the clearance had already been given. Nothing was moved on that. 3 complaints in 2025 of unlawful construction and violation in the properties, unlawful noise pollution, and I think the most damning one which came on 4th November 2025, just a month before this tragedy, of unauthorized construction, coastal regulation zones violations, and illegal commercial operations without an occupancy certificate. This reply also mentions towards the end that after the tragic fire incident, the board, via its direction 17 December 2025, has revoked the consent to operate order dated April 22, 2024. So it only took this tragedy for the authorities to actually revoke the consent approval given by the pollution board, not all these other complaints which had come. And this is the most damning part of the entire Goa tragedy, that the complaints were not acted upon. And once the tragedy happened, it is only then that, action was taken. And the only one person, Just quickly to add, who has been suspended in this matter is the Goa State Pollution Board's member secretary, Shamila Montiaro, who was suspended after the fire, but no other action has been taken so far against the authorities who gave these approvals without obviously doing their due diligence.
Absolutely, Aman, and thank you so much for bringing that important part of the document as well. Once again, some of the elements, if I could just for the benefit of our viewers take you through one more time. I am holding the Goa State Pollution Control Board authorization letter. This is the date that we're looking at. Once again, let's just quickly zoom into this. 22nd April 2024. Important to note here, consent to operate and authorization is hereby, if you can see, if I could just zoom in here, is granted to meaning GS Hospitality Goalpura. This is the important part. Represented by Mr. Saurabh Luthra, green category. So very important to note here. And as Aman mentioned earlier, after the tragic fire incident at the establishment, the board, by its directions dated 17th of December 2025, has revoked the consent to operate order dated 22nd April 2024, issued to GS Hospitality Goa Arpura, and that is the damning part.